In this video, we will talk about how to determine the difference quotient for a quadratic function. So the difference quotient uses the following formula: f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. So let's say that we have the following quadratic function. F of x is equal to x squared plus 5x minus 4. How can we find the difference quotient for this function? Well, we can just use this formula right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's write dq for difference quotient is equal to, the first step is we need to plug in an x plus h into the f of x function. So wherever we see an x in this function right here, we're actually going to plug in an x plus h. So let's do that. So instead of x squared, we're going to write x plus h squared. And then we have plus 5. Instead of writing an x, we're going to write an x plus h. And then we just have minus 4. So that's f of x plus h. Next, we just need to subtract f of x. So we just need to subtract this entire function right here. So let's write that: minus x squared plus 5x minus 4. So that's the numerator of the difference quotient, and the denominator, we just have an h. So let's write an h right here. Okay, so now we just need to simplify the numerator. So let's write dq. First, we have x plus h squared. So how can we expand that out? Well, x plus h squared, that's the same as x plus h times x plus h. So if you were to multiply these values out, you would get x times x, which is x squared, plus you would have x times h, so plus xh. And then here you would have h times x, so plus, that's the same as xh, times h times h, so plus h squared. So we'll notice we have two xh's, so we can write this as x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. Now, one useful shortcut that you might want to memorize is when you have two numbers added together squared, so like a plus b squared, when you expand this expression, you just get a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So that's exactly what we got here. When we had x plus h squared, we got x squared plus 2 times the product of the two numbers, x times h, plus h squared. So that's just a shortcut formula that you might want to memorize. So let's go ahead and write that here. I'll clear a little room. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to this term now. So to simplify this, we can just distribute the 5 into the parentheses. So we'll get plus 5 times x, so plus 5x, plus 5 times h, so plus 5h. And then we have a minus 4. And then we're subtracting this entire parenthesis. So we get minus x squared minus 5x. And when we subtract a negative 4, that's the same as adding 4. And in the denominator, we still just have h. So let's see if we can cancel out some terms. So here we have an x squared, which can be canceled out with this negative x squared. Then we have a 5x, which can be canceled out with this negative 5x. And then we have a negative 4, which can be canceled out with this positive 4. So we're left with 2xh plus h squared plus 5h in the numerator, all divided by h. Now what we'll notice is that all of the terms in the numerator have an h. So we can factor out an h and get h times 2x plus h plus 5. And that's all over h. So we'll notice that the h in the numerator and denominator cancel out, and we're just left with 2x plus h plus 5. So that is the final answer on this one. This is the difference quotient for the original function of x squared plus 5x minus 4.